So today I'm visiting Wurzburg, Germany. Yes, it is very cold, and in fact I think my sinuses might actually be frozen.
I got you covered, as usual. You just do the walking, I'll do the talking. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna find out exactly how much of this exciting German town we can see in just one day. And by day, I mean morning till night. Along the way, we'll be visiting historic sites, taking in some amazing architecture, and investigating whatever this thing is. So hold on tight, this adventure is taking us to Wurzburg. If you roll in by train the way I did, it is just a short walk down into the heart of it all. Fortunately for those of you who'd prefer to save your steps, there are trams that run back and forth and all over. One of the first sites I encountered was the Romanesque style Neumunster Catholic Church, which has origins dating back to the 11th century. Just next door you will find the Wurzburg Cathedral, which was founded a tad bit earlier in the year 1040. One of the tallest churches in Germany, it also serves as a burial place for the prince bishops. Now these churches may seem old, but the original structures of both suffered a great deal of damage during the World War II air raids and had to be reconstructed throughout the following decades. Strolling the nearby streets, we encounter the Franconia Fountain, which seems to be pointing the way to the local palace known as Wurzburg Residence. And check out this tile work around the Franconia Fountain. I was going to give you a look inside at the interior, but unfortunately photo and video devices were not allowed. So this marvelous ceiling right here, well, that's all you get. Now, let's see what else we can find. Here we have the star-shaped Sternplatz fountain that dates all the way back to, 1987. Now I'm sure you may have noticed it was winter time during my visit, and the festivities were all about, with most of the action centered around the town's main market square. This area was absolutely packed with an enormous assortment of cheerful displays and holiday goods, all located at the base of St. Mary's Chapel. This magnificent Gothic construct was built in the 14th century, and like most buildings in the area, it too had to go through a period of significant restoration. Now I know many of you came here to check out that mighty fortress up on the hill. To accomplish that, we're going to head on across the old main bridge. You'll find this extravagant pedestrian walkway to be lined with an assortment of statues, ranging from knights to saints. I'm going to warn you, it is a big hike up to the top of the hill. But don't worry, if I can do it, well, you'll probably be okay too. Here we pass through our first gate and receive a view of the next stretch of hill up ahead of us. A bit more walking, and we're going to pass through another gate. Just check out those large wooden doors. Pretty cool, huh? Now, as we round the corner, there's just one more gate, and we have made our way in to see a bit of construction taking place. Okay, to put it mildly, there was actually lots of construction taking place, which seemed at first to be a bit of a bummer. But what can you do? I'm determined to enjoy this place to its fullest. Despite all that's going on, the stroll around the exterior is pretty amazing, with some really impressive city views too. Check out how massive this stronghold actually is. And I was very much relieved to see the other side was completely construction free. Now, we will make our way into the Fortress Museum to have a look at some of the history preserved within. Inside they have a treasure trove of oil paintings, statues, artifacts, and yeah, one of those too. They also have a few rooms decorated with furnishings of the past to display a visual experience of what daily life was like back in those days. You could easily spend a lot of time in here just wandering through and gazing around at this collection of historic items. Room after room is packed with interesting relics of the past, and some of it goes all the way back to the prehistory of the area. If you have enough time on your hands, you can also take a guided tour deep into the heart of the old castle, with visits to special areas like the dungeon. But I'm on a tight schedule, so this display of medieval armaments will have to do just fine. As we make our way back out into town, the daylight is beginning to fade, and now we're able to experience things from a slightly different perspective, with an evening view of the 13th century Old Town Hall. And right there across from it, that is the Fountain of Virtues.
Alright, so what'd you think about Wurzburg? I actually really liked it a lot, but you know what? I do recommend you plan your visit in warmer weather.
Siege is just being overly dramatic as usual. This town seems to be a great place to visit year-round. And don't forget those Christmas markets throughout December. No matter when you plan your visit, you are sure to have an amazing time exploring the historic streets of Wurzburg, Germany.